Good morning, everybody. It's John here in Spokane, Washington. Every time I think I'm getting over the hump, it comes back with a vengeance and really just kicks my butt at night. I'm learning I'm gonna have to set my alarm every 3 hours and get up and do my respiratory toileting and or pulmonary toileting, sinus hygiene, whatever you want to call it. I also went back and looked at my timeline a bit, and now that I'm feeling a little bit better sometimes, the last day I worked at the hospital was March 6th. But before that, I remember having a little tickle in the back of my throat, and, I'm very conscious of my sinus health and respiratory health over the past 3 years with everything I've been through. And so I wonder if something before March 6th had been brewing. And I've done a lot of research, or I should a fair amount, now that I'm feeling better. I've posted stuff from the World Health Organization. And one of the things that I've been confused over that I wanted to clarify was that it looks like it's a 14-day incubation period. However, if you read some of the stuff from the World Health Organization, if you have chronic respiratory illness at your baseline, it can take up to 6 weeks to get out of your system. And that's if cardiac or diabetes or other stuff going on. So, I was hoping that I would be out of the woods. It was March 6th. Friday was the 14th day. I'm obviously still having symptoms. Today is the day that I was told the COVID-19 test would come back. If it doesn't, my symptoms progress, I'm probably going to call urgent care and see if I can get some imaging done, a chest x-ray, and maybe even a strep test. I had a strep test 6 weeks ago, and it was negative when I was in with the flu. So let's see. There's one thing that I am seeing a lot of on local news. People are going out without masks on. The China and South Korea, the Asians, they've always wore masks even when we didn't have these things going on because of their pollution and what have you. So they're used to it. But the World Health Organization actually recommended wearing a mask in public, and I know that there's not masks easily available, so at least a bandana or something, even if don't have anything, it's not so that you don't catch it because it hangs around in the air. A couple people worried about my chest pain. I'm fairly certain it's not cardiac. I'm still here. It's probably costochondritis from coughing so hard. It's just centered around my heart, and another reason why I'll probably go to urgent care today too. Remember, we're lucky to live here. Very lucky. I'm not going to get political, but I can't imagine being homeless and having this, being in prison having this, being on the border in a cage having this, in Africa having this, and not having food and water and shelter. I'm lucky I live alone with my 2 dogs, who are doing great, by the way. There's another thing I want to say. On March 9th, I had asked my ENT, who's in the process of moving to Fresno as we speak, he was planning to do that, for a Pneumovax 23 test, or vaccine, excuse me. And I had that done. And I'm not saying it caused any of this, but a lot of my friends all over, some don't like to get the flu shot. They're finding, and if you listen to any of my videos from the one that came in from overseas, the audio that I recorded, if you get the flu on top of this, or if you get something else on top of this, something viral, it's going to be really bad. So call your doctor. I mean, most flu vaccines and pneumonia vaccines you can go right to your pharmacist and get. But if you've already been exposed to this and you're a carrier and you don't know, could it complicate things? Did it complicate things in my case? I don't know. But I feel like I'm on the mend. No GI symptoms. I wanted to say that. I've not had any vomiting when I cough really hard, or nausea, I should say, but no vomiting, no diarrhea. And the last thing I want to talk about before I sign off is what I'm doing with this tea kettle. If you listen to the video that was from overseas, we got to get our airways open, and so I've been doing deep breath over a kettle that's been this. And look, if you got half a brain, don't do it. I mean, obviously you could burn yourself. I'm doing this at home because I'm an able-bodied adult, and I'll sit here for about 5 minutes, and it helps me get this stuff up that will not come up normally, and it's brown and nasty. The other thing that I'm doing is I've got Dr. Tishner's, or Listerine, and this is an actual antiseptic with menthol and all that stuff. I've been gargling with this to get that tickle out of my throat. I've read some stuff online, and that's where the COVID likes to hang out, supposedly. And so I'm still doing some more research. I have nothing else to do at home except get on the internet and do research, and I need to do that for my own sanity. So, but something else I did that worked really good for me, I'll take a little swig of this Listerine. Small swig. Don't swallow. And breathe in. That menthol, I didn't swallow. I just let it go over my tongue, the steam, and that menthol and the eucalyptus is going into my lungs, making me cough, and I'm getting more up. Now, I'll do that for about 5 minutes. This is the abbreviated version. And then I'll go into my bathroom and I'll do the neti pot. And I'll get stuff up that it's not as bad as it was if you looked at my other videos. And I cleaned it up already in here. I know my housekeeper hasn't come. I don't know why. She hasn't been here today. But, God. So anyway, I want to share that with you. Still afebrile, vitals are still stable. I think I'm going to come out of it okay. But as far as work, this is a chronic respiratory illness I have normally at baseline. I'm probably going to file for unemployment or do something until I can go back to work, maybe work from home. Luckily, like I said, I have finances. I don't have to worry about that. And I am going to post shortly what my stock picks are. I'm not a stockbroker. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a registered nurse doing this on my own. I'm doing the stock stuff that the president, hopefully he knows something about stocks because he doesn't seem to know a lot about much else, that are building up, doing masks. Tesla is doing ventilators. It's a lot of that stuff. So I invested a fraction of what I have. Other stuff is in a cash IRA, hopefully safe. But I'm doing what I can to stimulate the economy and help us find an answer to all this stuff. So I am willing to do that. Again, I'm not a stockbroker or doctor. This doesn't come from my hospital, Multicare. They are, I keep in touch with them. They're doing what they can do. They're great people. People are in good hands there. Follow the CDC recommendations. Read my WHO report, World Health Organization. Follow my videos if you want to see how this has progressed for me. Peace out and live long and prosper.